What's up, guys? Thank you for tuning in to a new video. So today we are going to replace this igniter for this stove inside the oven. Now, this is a very important one because when it comes down to the holidays, a lot of y'all are gonna want to use your oven for either turkey or certain feasts for Christmas, New Year's, whatever. I know the oven is a real essential part of everybody's cooking life. So if I was you, I would pay real close attention so you don't have to wait for somebody to come change your stuff. But anyways, let's get right into it. So now this is really the easy part. Taking it apart is just removing the rails. For some reason, the door hinges weren't coming off, so typically I would always take the door off just to give myself more space. But if the door doesn't come off, yeah, you'll be fine. You'll be able to reach. Just don't hang your whole entire body on the door, because that glass it'll eventually give and you don't want to cut yourself. So right there you kind of see me disassembling everything. Just be careful with the screws. Sometimes for some reason some of the screws inside the ovens always tend to strip, but I don't know why, I don't know how, but just be careful. So right there, for the most part, I believe these are all Phillips head screws, or the square ones, and the thing that holds the igniter will probably be just like a 5/16 screw, like a 1/4 inch, but 5/16 size. So right here, just a Phillips screw. And to be honest, guys, I have never changed out an igniter for this sort of stove before, but you know, for the most part they're all kind of the same thing. So as you learned today, I am learning when I took this video. So just be careful. So right there, all I had to do was remove the bracket by unscrewing that Phillips screw head. You'll see those two wires coming out through there. Sometimes they won't come out completely, so what you want to do is just basically cut them. Yes, I said it, cut them. Yeah, after you do that, you'll see that igniter right there that's on the actual funnel. So with this, you want to be very, 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 very careful when you unscrew the screws that hold your igniter into place, because half the time, if you unscrew it crooked, it will strip and you will not be able to get that screw out unless you break that whole thing. And that's not something that you want to go through, especially if you are new to this. So just be careful. Use a ratchet, use a hand tool, no power tools, just very slow, very slow. And the same thing when you are putting it back in. So if you can tell, that igniter has a round tip. Today we are going to replace it with a little bit of a square one. Now, typically I wouldn't do this because I just like to put the parts that actually correspond to the appliance, but it'll work the same way. But just for learning purposes, this is just, you know, a video for that, for you to understand how to be able to change this igniter out. Now, just be sure you kind of look at the whole setup. Be sure if it's the same, able to face the same way, screws are aligning with the holes, and you don't have to use the same old housing for the igniter. You can use the brand new one. So right there, the reason why I'm kind of bending is because since I know it's not the same exact one, I want it to be as close to the little funnel as possible, because it's going to be able to ignite the gas faster in order to create the flame. So as you can see right there, I am hand tightening this screw on there. Yes, hand tighten it first. And do not use your drill when tightening up the screws for your igniter, because the pure vibration will end up breaking that igniter. Trust me, I have been there and it was frustrating when it happened. So just be careful. So after you do that, you're gonna want to get your strip wires, or wire strippers, whatever you want to call them, and start stripping a little bit of the wire from the igniter. And then you're gonna do the same thing for the other side of where you cut the actual wires from. And basically, yes, you are going to splice them together very carefully and secure them where they don't come apart. So right there you see, and it's always better to have more wire than less. You know, if you're worried about making it look pretty by shortening it and keeping it perfect size, just trust me, forget all that. It's better to keep more wire, because if you mess up, you will have more room to fix it. So there, as you can see, I'm able to strip that wire. Then we are gonna go to the other one. Now, just be careful when you are stripping the wire. Be sure that the actual wire is actually exposed and not just the little insulation is exposed, because if you don't strip the wire correctly, it's not going to make good contact with the other tip of the wire, and then the thing might not even come on, and you might think it's something else when in actuality it's not. So also, I do apologize for the certain angle. It's a little bit of a tight space, so just kind of bear with me. I believe you are going to be able to see when I splice them, but basically splicing just means that you are going to twist both wires that are stripped, twist them together, put the little wire cap on it where you're going to twist them even further, and be sure they're at least a little bit tight, and secure them where they're not going to become undone. What I typically do is once I strip both wires, I kind of start placing the whole assembly back into position where I know it's going to be in place, and then that's where I can work with measuring how I want it to look. So right there, we're just going to put that bracket back on, put the screw back on. And like I said, guys, I've never actually replaced one for this specific stove, but it's really all the same basis, you know, the same components. So it's not that complicated, but as I've always said before, just be careful, take pictures, always have a reference point where you started. That way, if you do get lost, you're able to work your way backwards and, you know, get back to where you started from without feeling completely lost. Now, also, when you are putting that little funnel back into position, be sure that it's actually in the little gas line. You'll be able to tell, even if I don't show you in this video, you're pulling it out from where the gas is coming from. So just be sure you put it back into position where the gas can run straight into it, so the gas can distribute evenly. Although I don't believe you'll be able to miss it, because look how tight that hole is. Yeah, as soon as you push it in there, it's going to land into position. But just in case, you know, I have worked on different ones, and it's not like this. It has too much free space and you might miss it. So just be careful. So as you can see, I am ready to put the wires together. I am going to twist them very tightly first, and then I am going to put my little wire nut on it and tighten it up. What you want to do after you tighten it up, just kind of pull on the two ends of the wire. Just be sure that they don't come off so easily. Then I use electrical tape just to secure it. I do bend it and then add more electrical tape to it, because sometimes what happens is that if someone else comes, you know, and they want to pull it, they're just going to pull the whole wire completely off. And I'd rather have it secure, and that way whoever comes after me, you know, can at least just cut the tape off, and they'll be able to work with more wire if they have to, you know. Always looking out, you feel me? So same thing with the other wire. Just be sure you get both ends, twist them very tightly, then put your wire nut on it, and same motion. Twist not so excessively where you feel like it's not tight, but just snug where it's catching in position. Put the tape around the wire nut, also catching the wire itself. Bend the wire where you're going to be able to apply more tape on it so it can be secure, just like that. And also, just, you know, with these, kind of just take your time, you know, don't rush through it if you don't have to. You know, there you go, and we are, I believe, good to go. So here you go. Now we are ready to go. Now, the easiest way to kind of diagnose these little problems for you to know that if you have a bad igniter, usually a good igniter, as soon as you activate it or your bake setting, the flame should come on between 30 to 45 seconds. If it exceeds that and is getting to the 1 minute mark, then you have a weak igniter where it's not able to pull enough power for that gas valve to open, and it's taking too long. And what tends to happen when things like that happen is that it's going to be on for so long, a little bit of gas might start accumulating, and when it does come on, it might push that door forward and you might get scared. So just gotta keep in mind. So right now we did turn it on, and it should come on any second. There you go. You start seeing that orange glow. So as soon as you start seeing that orange glow, you will hear a big hissing sound, and that is just the gas valve opening up in order to allow the gas to flow into the funnel. And as soon as it makes contact with that igniter fully, the flame will come on. So just give it a little bit of time, and look, there you go. Easy peasy. But anyways, guys, I just want to give you thanks. Hey, check out the new YouTube shorts, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.